A different perspective, a new insight into life, a nugget of positivity and a hidden truth, and maybe an amusement for you. Welcome to From My Standpoint, a twice-a-month podcast with your host, Josh C. Jones.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone. I appreciate you tuning in again to From My Standpoint. I'm your host, Josh C. Jones. If this is your first time listening, then I thank you for tuning in. And if it's not, well, thank you for coming back. And don't forget that if you prefer to read, I suggest you check out the blog at FromTheirStandpoint.com. That's from THEIR standpoint.com, where I will sometimes add links and some extra information that may not be in the podcast. All right, so when I first thought about a holiday special episode, or as I like to call it, a Christmas episode, I was flabbergasted at my lack of creativity of concocting any type of formulation of communication to encode and transfer to you, the receiver, to decode and process for perception. I mean, I had no idea what I would do for this episode. I was confounded, flustered, befuddled, vexed, puzzled.
Would you say you were confused as to what to present?
Yes, random voice of questions. I would. I was confused. I thought about reverting back to my normal fallback. You know, the area where I tend to be very creative at. That is also cheap, free in this case, and requires less equipment than normal video production, and that being a poem.
Why not just write a poem then?
Well, random voice of questions, I did a few years ago for a media company that a buddy and I had where we tried to make a Christmas production almost every year. Tried is the key word. But, you know, life, as we all know, can, with our permission, sometimes get in the way. It is a great poem written from the format and rhyming pattern and somewhat story of how the Grinch stole Christmas. It's a comedy, of course. And so I didn't want to copy that. However, I would really, really, really like to share that recording with you all when my buddy and I do record it and release it. It may not be this year, but, you know, in the coming years. In fact, you can actually go check out the YouTube channel of Two Titans Media LLC. That's two as in TWO, Titans Media LLC. And check out our Christmas videos playlist. It's been a little while since we have created another video, but I do think and I truly do believe that you will thoroughly enjoy watching what we do have up on that YouTube channel. But as I was saying, I was at a loss as to what to write and speak about. Then a thought came to me. I began thinking that this year, I was actually looking forward to snow this winter. Now, I'm from Arizona originally, so I like the heat over the cold. I don't like the humidity, but I like the heat. And to me, snow usually means restriction and chains. It feels like it is prohibitive from the choice to be moving and working and hustling and just busy. It is a pure blanket of rest. And like most people, I do not want to stop. I want to keep moving, keep working, keep hustling, keep creating, and keep accumulating. Well, I am looking forward to a Christmas break with snow this year, with no work, not having to clock in or have any freelance work, and that is mostly due to COVID, of course, but having a complete break. I'm looking forward to sitting at home by the fire with family and just talk and watch movies and play games. I am looking forward to truly relaxing and taking a complete break. I am looking forward to, in the terms of work and our culture of always being on the go and hustling, I am looking forward to doing nothing. Being furloughed part of the year and being forced to work from home, I have been seeing things from a new perspective. I never truly realized, or maybe I just did not accept the truth, that I, like most people, never truly stop and rest and refresh. Believe it or not, I wasn't even consistent with my daily readings. I was too busy. But now, thanks to the events of this year, I am seeing this from this new perspective, and I am realizing the importance of true rest, and I am looking forward to it.
The world will be relentless in its pursuit of robbing us of our rest. Without rest for our body, mind, and soul, we will be ever increasingly susceptible to the ways of the enemy. Our walk will stray, our mind will justify, and our character will begin to falter.
Yeah, I agree, Random Voice of Reason. In fact, it even says in the Bible in multiple places to rest. For example, in Matthew 11:28, it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." In our society, in our culture, we are taught to always be on the move, to always be moving, to never stop. We live in a time of always being plugged in, with the internet, with technology, with gadgets always attached to us. We are 24/7 tethered to the activities of the world, wirelessly tied to the eternal bustle of the hustle, and unconsciously accepting the lifestyle and destructive habits of the restless and weary.
Stop. Rest.
Yes, stop and rest. Truly rest. Psalm 127:2 says, "In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat. For he grants sleep to those he loves." 24/7. 24/7. 365. The power is always on. The devices are always connected. The world never sleeps. The actions are never restful. The voices are never quiet. The light is always on. Yet, the person is not always home.
We rarely, if ever, truly stop, truly rest, truly refresh, until the day we are truly laid to rest.
Yeah. That is sad, but it is true, Random Voice of Reason. Mark 6:31 states, "Then, because so many people are coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, 'Come with me, buy yourselves to a quiet place, and get some rest.'" From one job to the next, from one location to the next, from one relationship to the next, from one argument to the next, from one struggle to the next, from one day to the next. How many times have we been so busy in our always on, always moving, always restless hustle and bustle life and world that we forget to eat? Eating is how we replenish our bodies from that which we have exhausted from our movement, from our hustle and bustle, from our normal everyday living. Eating regularly provides us with the energy we need to sustain ourselves in this life. Eating healthy provides us with nutrients we require to replenish ourselves and to grow stronger, healthier, have better control, and to think clearer. Eating properly and regularly provides us with a longer, healthier, more positive, more productive, more loving, happier, more productive life. But how many times do we forget to eat because we are so busy? Because we are always moving, always on the go, always hustling, always restless? How many times do we forget to eat, not for the flesh, but for the spirit as well? Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. Stop and truly rest. Psalm 4:8 states, "In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." For the first time in a long, long time, I am looking forward to rest, to complete rest. No work, no side jobs, no hustle and bustle, no social media, no feeling the need to stay connected to all the world at all times, no desire to check in and check out with comparison and covetousness over someone else's perceived life. As I say in my book, Volume 1, The Foundation to Your Success, quote, problematic as it may seem, the modern human race tend to compare our lives to the lives of others. In most cases, we make false comparisons using our entire life to another's highlights. In doing so, we look upon our life with sadness, depression, and disdain for not achieving the perceived level of success those we compare ourselves with appear to have achieved in their highlighted version. We falsely assume as absolute truth. Not only do we tend to compare, but we tend to covet. We covet another's perceived wealth. We covet another's perceived fame. We covet another's perceived whole, polite, and happy family lifestyle. We covet another's perceived nirvana at finding and fulfilling their purpose. We covet, we chase, we compare, we fail, we repeat. Rest. Stop and truly rest. Break that vicious cycle. Rest. We all, every one of us, require rest. Not sleep from passing out, but true rest. Whenever we continuously move, are always on the go, as we all are in these always connected, always on, always hustling times, we become tired. We become weary. Our bodies begin to slow down. They begin to shut down. Our minds become fogged with exhaustion and stress and worry and negativity. We begin to live our lives not as the individual we are, not based on the content of our own character that we choose to create for ourselves, and not based on the victorious soul that is loved by God for who He has created us to be. But we begin to live our lives based on our false perception of comparison. In this, we lose sight of our purpose. We lose sight of our value and worth. And we lose sight of our success, of victory. We covet another's life. We covet material things. We lose sight of what is truly important and what truly matters in this world. We create gods of wealth, of material items, of work status, of numbers, of others, and if we are not careful, we create gods of ourselves. Always on. Always. This is what I was living. I was never truly able to rest. I was never truly able to refresh, to rejuvenate, to relax, to be at peace, even in God's presence. I was always having to be busy. I was always having to be on the go and working, and sometimes to be thinking about something. The next project, the next chapter, the next page, the next job, the next reply, the next line, the next advancement, and the next dollar. I sacrificed earthly rest. I sacrificed the health of my body. I sacrificed meals. I sacrificed my spirit. I sacrificed relationships. I sacrificed precious time. I sacrificed life. I sacrificed Jesus' sacrifice, all for a misplaced personal desire of comparison and covetousness. Lack of rest, true rest, for the body, mind, and spirit is a powerful weapon. When we do not rest, we do not rejuvenate. We do not refresh. We do not enter into God's full presence. Hebrews 4:9 through 10 says, "So then, there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God. For whoever has entered God's rest has also rested from his works as God did from his. Even God rested on the seventh day." Rest. Stop and truly rest. 2020 might have been a crazy, fear-mongering time of uncertainty and confusion, for sure, but it has also provided us with the opportunity to stop, to reflect, to grow, and to rest, both physically and spiritually, and to refresh our body, mind, and soul. The positives of the quarantines, the positives of the sheltering, the positive of this unprecedented and uncertain time, the positive of the whole world practically halting in the face of an invisible enemy bent on division and destruction, is that we all, the entire world, have had a chance to finally pause, to rest. We have had a chance to finally refresh, to reflect, to grow, to realize what is truly important, to understand that life is valuable and that life, as I say in my book, Volume 2, Your Foundation in Action, quote, life is intrinsically good, that life is valuable for its own sake and not for how it can compare to our belief and judgment or for what it can lead to or provide for us alone, end quote. Rest. Stop and truly rest. So this holiday break, during this time of Christmas, let us find that positive and understand the truth that rest, true rest, is not just important and valuable, but indisputably essential to our lives, to our health, to our understanding, to our growth, to our productivity, to our purpose. Rest, both in the physical and the spiritual, is necessary for us to live our full potential and accomplish our purpose on this earth. This is why I am more excited for this Christmas season than most any other that I can recall. Yes, I enjoyed the others, and I thank God for every single one of them. But this year, 2020 and all it has brought, the virus, the shutdowns, the furloughs, the uncertainty, the divisions, the turmoil, the wickedness and pure evil of some people and groups, the personal choices by some to allow explosive, uncontrolled, and damaging emotions and feelings to warp their perceptions and to control some people's lives for the worst, and the prayer marches and the most time in prayer that most people have spent in a very, very long time. It has all taught me the positive of rest. And as hard as it was in the past to just sit still and to not work on a project, to not hustle for the next project or job, and to stay off the cherry-picked and sometimes false reality showcased on the social media world, I am truly looking forward to rest. True rest. Time with family. Time of reading. Time of healing. Time of growth. Time of mending. Time of refreshing. Time with those of whom I physically am able to spend time with that I love. And time in the presence of my Lord. Time of worship and study in God's Word and in the presence of Jesus Christ. That is what this Christmas season is all about. That's what Christmas is all about. A time of rest, a time of thanks, a time of love and gratitude and compassion and family and understanding that rest is vitally important for the body, mind, and soul. And a time of remembrance of Jesus Christ our Lord and the purpose God has called us to on this earth. We will soon get so busy that we will forget to rest and refresh once again. So is human nature. So is the tactic of the enemy. So is sin. But we have Christmas to remind us each and every year of the importance of rest and refreshment, and to help guide us on the right path of rest, refreshing, love, peace, understanding, and grace. I wish everyone a relaxing time of rest. I wish everyone a time of understanding and remembrance. I wish everyone a time of joy, peace, love, and laughter. And, most importantly, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Don't forget to check out the other great shows at www.fromtheirstandpoint.com. And if you even slightly liked what you've heard in these podcasts, please rate, review, and share. If you have not yet subscribed, then I encourage you to subscribe to From My Standpoint to ensure you receive a reminder when new episodes are released. You can follow me on Facebook at FM Standpoint, on Instagram at From My Standpoint, or visit the website www.fromtheirstandpoint.com. That's from THEIR standpoint.com, and click on my show, From My Standpoint. And now, what you've all been waiting for, it's the wisdom of Dad Joke. Restless legs, restless minds, restless hearts. I pray that everyone finds rest. A rest for their body, a rest for their minds, and a rest for their souls. I pray that everyone finds that refreshment in their lives. I pray that in this time of relaxing, refreshing rest, in this time of Christmas, that everyone will receive the gift of the universal remote. It changes everything.
This has been From My Standpoint, a podcast to find a nugget of positivity and a hidden truth, encouraging and enlightening insight, entertaining a new perspective, and providing an amusement for you. We hope you were entertained, encouraged, enlightened, and enjoyed the show.